Yeah, so welcome back. Let's start our discussion from the graphs only. We were talking about graphs and we had a good amount of discussion. And in the last video, we were talking about minimum spanning tree, where we looked into your Prim's algorithm, then we looked into Kruskal algorithm. In today's video, we'll talk about Dijkstra's and Warshaw's algorithm. And this Dijkstra algorithm is a single source shortest path algorithm. And unlike your just like your Prims and Kruskals, this is also a greedy method. That means it's basically an optimization problem. So we are trying to optimize the results, and the idea is once again to find the shortest path. So since this is a single source problem, so we have a single source in this, and in this Dijkstra algorithm we do the labeling of every node, and this labeling is of two kinds. One is your temporary, another one is permanent. Temporary labels are assigned to the nodes that have not been reached, while permanent labels are given to those nodes that have been reached and their distance or the cost to the source is known. So a node must be a permanent label or a temporary label, but it cannot be in both the categories. I mean, labeling will be like one label on each node. So let's assume that in this particular graph I have A as the source node. So the first step is that this my A is a source node. In some of the literatures you will also find it as initial node. So if suppose this is the source or the initial node, so what we do is we assign 0 cost to this and infinity to the rest, and this thing keeps on getting updated. Now this is about initial. So what the formula says is that if, let's say, this is the U node and this is the V node, V is to be the one vertex which is to be reached. So how the updation takes place is, if this U plus cost to reach V from U is lesser than this V, which is like infinity at this moment, then we replace it. Then we replace this particular value. So let's see in this example how we are going to proceed. So we know that in this particular case we have 0 here. So what I am doing is, on this side, let's take this. So I went to this 2, and so from this source we have two options, either move to B or to C, and right now we are updating these costs. So this becomes 0 plus 2, which is obviously less than infinity. So what I am going to do is, I am going to revise this particular weight, right? So this particular weight, what it becomes is, it becomes 2. On this side, 0 plus 4, which is obviously less than infinity, so this particular weight becomes 4. Now this thing is covered now. This is with the permanent one. So this is covered now. Now we are left with the rest other. I'll not even see to this particular part now. So I have weight 2, I have weight 4, and rest everything infinity. So what I'll do is I'll start with here. So 2 plus 10, which is 12. So here I'm going to update it as 12. So this thing becomes 12. Now this I am done with it. Now I have like 12 and 4, so obviously what I'll do is I'll go ahead with lesser one. I'll pick 4. Now this side I'll not go, I'll go to this side, or I'll go to this side. So what I'm doing is I'll go ahead with 4 plus 15 and I'll update it, and this becomes 19. Now, so from 4, 19, 12, what we are going to do is 4 plus 17, which is 21. So I'm going to update it with 21, and this gets covered. So now I'm left with 12, 19 and 21, and from 12 what I'm going to do is 12 plus 13, which is 25. I'll update this. 12 plus 5, which is 17. So once again I'll update this, and this gets covered. Now I am left with 17, 21 and 25. So now I'm left with this. So 17, I cannot update this B or F. So 17 plus 22, which is your 39, and of course which is like 25, of course lesser than, so this gets covered. And on this end once again it's like I cannot update this, so these two are left with 21 and 25. So now since we are left with 21 and 25, so of course 21 is smaller, I'll cover this. Then I'm left with this, so I'll cover this. I cannot even update, that does not make any sense. So with this we are able to update it. So what we get is like we have B, then we have C, then we have D, E, F, and then G. So what we get is, to reach B we have to, the cost will be 4, and to reach C the cost will be 2, to reach D the cost will be this 17, to reach E the cost will be 21, to reach F the cost will be 12, to reach G the cost will be 25. This is the overall cost from this single source or the initial node, and that's how this Dijkstra algorithm works. So there is a difference between Dijkstra algorithm and your minimum spanning tree. So in case of your minimum spanning tree, it is used to traverse a graph in a most efficient manner, whereas in case of Dijkstra, it calculates the distance from a given vertex to every other vertex in the graph. This Dijkstra's algorithm is like very similar to Prim's algorithm. We haven't talked about Prim's, and both the algorithms begin at a specific node and extend outward within the graph until like all the other nodes in the graph are covered. The point where this algorithm differs is that while Prim's algorithm stores a minimum cost edge, Dijkstra algorithm stores the total cost from a source node to the current node. And in addition to this, your Dijkstra algorithm is used to store the summation of minimum cost edges, while Prim's algorithm stores at most one minimum cost edge. So this was all about Dijkstra algorithm. Let's talk about your Warshall algorithm now. So let's take this example where we have a directed graph and it's a weighted directed graph. So now we have to come up with a matrix, let's say M, where of course it will be a square matrix. So it will be for, let's say, these 4 nodes. So we have like A, B, C and D, then we have A, B, C and D on this end. For this particular A to A, it will be 0. Similarly, A to B we have like 4. We have for A to C we have 2. For A to D we don't have a direct edge, so in that case I'll enter infinity. And for B to A, once again I don't have a direct edge, so in that case I once again will be filling infinity. For B to B, of course, 0. For B to C I have 8. For B to D I have 12. And then for C to A I don't see anything, so once again infinity. For C to B, once again I don't see anything. For C to C it will be 0. For C to D it is 14. Then from D to A, yes, I have 6. From D to B I have 10. From D to C I don't see anything. Infinity. From D to D, of course, 0. So this is the first step. This is the first matrix M. Now let's have another matrix that would be M prime, where what we are going to do is, or let's take this as MA. That would be much more clearer, because we have a node A. In that case, once again we are trying to find all the shortest paths. So because this Warshall algorithm is also known as your all pairs shortest path. So since we are talking about A, so the A, that means I'll keep my first row. So let me A, B, C and D. A, B, C and D. So first row I'll keep it intact, so 0, because self loop it was already there. So even if my graph has a self loop, once again still I'll keep it as 0. So rest everything remains as it is. And first column, so that should also be as it is. And for the rest of the values, these diagonal elements which were there previously will remain as it is, because I don't have any self loops. And for this particular thing, which is your M of A, this is B comma C. I need to identify that something else is also there or not. So from B to C, it is coming out to be 8 here. And I need to identify that is there any other, since we are talking about this, let's look at this and this. So is there any other way where I can find like M of A, B comma A plus M of A comma B, sorry, A comma C. So which is your infinity plus 2. So this gives, this is like greater, far greater. So I am happy with this particular 8. So what I will do is I'll fill this 8 as it is. Now for this M of A, B comma D, what I see is, and I need to see for M of A, this is your M of B comma A plus m of a b comma d. So this comes out to be b comma d. This comes out to be your 12, and this b comma a from this particular one comes out to be infinity plus b comma a infinity plus 12. Of course this is greater, so we'll keep it as it is. So this becomes your 12. Now I need to look for this, and for this m of cb, let me make some space over here so that things will be much more clearer. And for this m of a c comma b, what we have is we have this and this. So m of a c comma a plus m of a comma b. So what we see is c comma b from this particular thing, it's infinity and c to a infinity plus m of a to b, which is 4. Now once again, so here this particular thing remains as it is. Now let's fill it with infinity only, and for this what we have is we have m of a c comma d, for which I'm going to go for this and this. So we can keep on filling these values, and then ultimately we'll get the final matrix. And now the same thing you have to repeat for all these things, which is your m of a, m of b, and then for all the vertices you are going to do the same thing. And at the end what you're supposed to do is, after finding all these for all these m of a, m of b, m of c and m of d, what you're supposed to do is you'll be finding something which is called as m of k. That would be with the help of finding the minimum values, and that would result into your final one. So this is all about your all pairs shortest path algorithm. See you soon.